Okay. So our next speaker is from one of our clients here in Latvia. We started working with them in 2019. The company is Kronis, and Gunta is here to share with us their experience. She actually is in charge of Adizes now in the organization. When the client came to us in 2019, their business was flat. For the first time, they hadn't had profits, and so they asked us to come work with them. We started, Vladimir's did most of the work with them, and Gunta will give us the journey that they went on.
Okay, so yeah, you hear me, good. So dear all, it's very nice to meet you all, to be here. My name is Gunta Spies. I'm a learning and development manager in a company, Kronis. Yeah.
I forgot one really important thing. The reason they're here is that they were Adizes Company of the Year in 2020.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, they didn't get to visit a convention, and now they're here. So a Company of the Year winner.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I'm actually very lucky. I worked for Kronos for 3 years, and 2.5 years I'm Adizes change management leader here, and also certified integrator. And that was the most, I would say, the most changing me experience overall during my whole HR, as a HR in my heart, HR experience. So those 3 guys, Andres, Aleksandrs, and Igors, they are the board members of Kronos, and they are real transformation ambassadors. And I'm lucky to be trusted, and they gave me authority to be here today and to speak also for them, because this is our story, this is Kronos' story, and we are still living it, because gentlemen, all of them are today in corporate POC, because they are solving a lot of important issues. So before I jump into transformation story and tell you about our weaknesses, about our successes during these 4 years, as Greg mentioned, starting 2019, very shortly about Kronos. So we are a company created in 95 as a logistics company with 3 tracks. And then we developed during the years as a production company producing packaging, wooden packaging. And we started to expand. Latvia became too small for us. We started to expand, and we opened a sales office in Germany in 2009. We opened a sales office in China in 2016. We have our own manufacturing, and now in 2023 we opened also new steel production. We are cutting steel strip. And this history is because of the product. We produce a wooden packaging, which means those are pallets and pallet collars, and with all the possible industries cooperating with automotive, with construction, with agriculture, so you can use wooden packaging for all goods you have. Gardening and DIY sector, which means you can have garden box for your garden and plant something there. And now you can find it with the brand Upyard, and Upyard actually is a baby what came out from Adizes transformation, because that is something new. Upyard brand and gardening, and now, as I already mentioned, steel product. Upyard, like there, Upyard, yeah. It's like Upyard by Kronos, yeah. So we are, as an export company, we have clients from more than 60 countries, and clients are more than 1,000 clients. We have headquarters in Latvia, but sales offices, as I already mentioned, in Germany and China. And internally in company, we speak 13 languages, because those are our clients, because we have to speak those. Our production is now 100,000 square meters big, and 80% of our production is automated. So we have 22 automated operations in our production, and we are still talking that we have to have more because we do not have enough workers to work as a blue collars in our production. Kronos in numbers, we have 20% of all market share in pallet collars, and that's a huge amount, and we are very proud of that. If we look at our numbers, so starting from 2019, as you can see, there is a huge jump in our results, and also big jump in the number of employees. And we think that this is because of Adizes, and this is, of course, because of the market, etc. But still, Adizes transformation helped us to reach this big success in our business. So overall, 6,000 trucks with our products are delivered annually. I can even imagine how much it is. So, guys, and all of this would not be in 2019. All of this seemed impossible because there were crises in sales markets, and in our company there were huge disintegration. We had a lot of internal conflicts. Employees were unhappy. They were not cooperating. We had a lot of gray zones, gray areas, some unclear processes, etc. So do you have a question, guys? Is that okay? Do you have any questions? Yeah, can answer? Yeah? Okay, so it resulted in declining profits and actually deteriorating financial performance. We, in 2019, our owner, Alexander, went to Switzerland to meet Adizes, and he thought that probably that Adizes is this opportunity what lies in the middle of difficulty, and he saw that this methodology could help us to go out of this bad time. Are there a magic pill? Of course, answer is no. And Adizes methodology also is not a magic pill, but it is a great foundation that we worked on to actually build success, to build what we did. For those of you who still are thinking about going with and using Adizes, I would say that Adizes is not like, a hard disk what you can insert in your company and everything will magically become perfect. No, it is not. But what you will get the knowledge and needed information and needed support. But it will be your job to do this. And of course, we went through a lot, understanding that, well, okay, Adizes gave us concepts, but that hard work is ours, and we have to do this. And of course, you will need to change, because this is what we did, and that was the hardest lesson learned, that we have to change. We have to change our mindset, we have to change how we cooperate with each other, we have to change how we listen to each other, etc. So this listening and changing mindset was the hardest point, and we went through valley of despair. I would say we were here, and this Selina also said that the first time you all were angry to Adizes. We also were very angry to Adizes, because after first Syndag, everybody came out frustrated, and they fought with words. They even yelled at each other, and they even now remember that was something very not understandable, and no one understood what they are doing at that time. So, and those three guys I showed you, especially Andres, they invested huge amount of time by explaining why this is important, by being an ambassador, by saying that, guys, we are doing this because of that, because of that, because of that. And as Dr. Adizes said today, that without a leader, this would not be actually possible. And this is our case for sure. If there would not be one person, what was Andres, who each and every day he spent a tremendous time to explaining to the team, to management team, to all the managers that, guys, this is important, we will do this, we have to go there. Nothing would happen. So investment of time, we didn't count it, but investment of time of board members, of management team at the beginning, then integrators, implementers, all the POC members, Synnet team members, also finance team, because blue books, black books, everything of that has to be prepared by them. So they have that, professional knowledge. And of course HR, because we were very much involved in all of this. I believe that we are somewhere here now, but still this will be, and at the end we will go to that. I think that we will go through this curve again and again and again, but we should not lose that. Those people who believe in the methodology, who are actually the ambassadors. We started in 2019 with this picture, 11 phases of Adizes transformation, and after 4 years, we are there. This is our Kronos strategic cycle. It's similar, right? It's similar to Adizes, but we feel now very comfortable with it. We know what we do. In 2019, there were a couple of people who understood partially what they were doing. And Vladimir's lived in our office, I think, like daily. But now we feel comfortable, and we did our first SINDEG and mission this year, like independently. And this happened after 4 years. So what we did, guys, we did SINDEX and Synerscopes in 2019, 20, 22, and 23. We revised our values. We developed the strategic cycle, what we are now working with. We revised and changed the functional and authority structure. Authority now, correlated with the budget, but still to be developed. What we did with functional structure, for example, we divided developmental functions from administrative functions, for example, HR development from support function, which is HR administration. We specifically understood what our business is. So there are green centers now, which is our sales departments, green centers. We know that there is our business, there is our money. We used PA codes very much. So we also looked at our people, at our functions, and for example, in sales, previously there were situations where active salesperson who likes to call to the clients, who likes to talk with clients, were forced to do administrative work, to enter in the system some data, etc. We divided those positions, and now we have sales admins who love to do this administrative work, who are A's, right? And then we have active salespeople who do the sales, right? And there is no conflict anymore. We developed, this was our as a last step, our new reward system, and introduced also OKRs. OKRs are not the Adizes, but goal setting is. The similar, right, and OKRs we have now for the second year, and we think that this is the right approach to the goal setting in our company. Initially, there were 4 POCs introduced: corporate operations, sales, and HR. Last year, we introduced 2 new ones. Sub-POCs, which we involve production personnel, blue collars, into this. So basically, we're cascading all the methodology in the company. There are some difficulties with the blue collars because they not so much into, sharing and talking and discussing, but still they really love that we actually try to hear their opinion and solve their problems. In 2023, in POCs, there are approximately 70 people involved. Of course, Celine and Lucy, not so much as in your... Yeah, okay, we'll wait for 30 years. So, but for us, 70 employees, it's quite impressive number. And in 2022, Andres understood that he is not not able anymore to manage all what's happening around us. And so this as process owner, me, myself, and I were introduced in the company. So changed. So Andres is still the who says the godfather of this, but I'm in charge of all the operational things. This is how it all looked like, and what was the main our challenge was to translate Adizes concepts into the, on the ground, into the real life, because Adizes do not give us details. Yeah, they are just concept, and that was our trigger, and we developed a lot of our approach how to do this, rules, trainings, materials, forms, and everything. And yeah, as you can see here, green centers. This is our structure, and then green centers. So what we did with such a huge amount of PIPs we had, we understood that it's not possible to manage them, and we developed our CRM system for POC control, which means that each and every POC has a specific stage in stock, in parking, in review, in priorities, in solution development, etc. And we can see the how PIP is moving, who is doing what with this PIP. And in 2022, we have 1,000 PIPs, and that was not possible to manage in Excel or in something like that. So the CRM system actually helps us also to look at the statistics, to look at the topics, we can find them, etc. Very helpful. We developed trainings, and that was the thing we understood, that new people are coming into the company and they do not know anything. They were not in the process from the beginning. So onboarding training for newcomers, where we explaining the basic concepts. We have implementers training, administrators training, because administrators have all those small details, how to do this, why to do this, how PIP should, where we should put this PIP, etc., etc. We use mentoring approach for new implementers, new integrators, and administrators, so somebody experienced sits together with the new one, and that's, of course, what you guys are doing. We internally recruited, then trained also integrators in the institute, and onboarded 12 integrators and 7 administrators we have at the moment. We established quarterly meetings because with all the flow of information around POCs, PIPs, and everything, we needed some platform to share the best practices, to share the problems, to share the information. And we independently held SINDAG and strategic session, as I already told you. Benefits for us, I would say that, yeah?
I saw that you internally recruited and trained 12 integrators.
We trained in Adizes Institute? No. We trained with you. Yeah.
Good, and are these integrators and administrators go through the same process of training? If so, I was wondering why these administrators did become integrators, because it's the same E2 process you go through. Is that correct?
What I would say that integrators are trained in Adizes Institute. But administrators, they are trained internally by us. So we developed a training program for them by ourselves, because we train also this IT system, how they should work there, etc., etc. Yes, exactly. In-house.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think my voice is loud enough. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
No, but if anyone speaks, we cannot hear it
okay.
In the video. Yeah.
You want me to do it again?
No, it's fine.
Did I yeah. Did I answer your question? Yeah? Good. It's fine. Yeah. So the main trigger in all of this was actually integration of everybody who has to be in the same boat, for everybody who has to work with PIPs, in POCs, etc., and for us to understand that it's it's good approach, that it's good to do this. And experience of thousands of companies worldwide, of course, helped us, and Adizes gave us all the experience they had. And the main thing that you guys helped us to build culture of mutual trust and respect. And this is the biggest gain, because I think the company Kronos in 2019 was completely different company in terms of culture, what it is now. And I'm 100% sure that this is because of the transformation program. And of course, tools, you gave us concepts, tools what you had, and our biggest benefits are, of course, profits and performance. We see it now. Culture of mutual trust and respect. We organized a lot and introduced new business processes. We have complementary teams. I believe that. Also, management team was created based on PAEI codes. We have a complementary management team. And we gained those skills, guys. We have now ability to listen to each other, to actually accept that there are different points of view, that we are able to solve conflicts. And planning and project management skills are very high now, because all the solution developments of PIPs and implementation of PIPs, this is a project management. And each PIP is as a little project we had to do. So we like to think that we are in prime now. But as I understand that now, we again have some issues in the company. We again have the same topics we talk about our results, about structural changes, about functional structural changes, etc. I would like to say that, guys, this is never-ending story. This is never-ending story. What will stay with us is mutual trust and respect, and ability to work with potential improvement points. This is the main thing. Yeah, but I would say that this is the biggest gain. So thank you very much. Questions?